Welcome you all. Myself Miss V.B. Mani, working as Assistant Professor at Satara College of Pharmacy, Satara. In this video, we are going to see the practical based on the paper chromatography. So the aim of the experiment is to separate and identify given mixture of amino acid by two-dimensional paper chromatography using different solvent system. After performing this experiment, these four objectives which will be achieved. These are the requirements. These glasswares, chemicals and the instrument will be required while performing this experiment. Now we have to see the principle involved in a paper chromatography. This technique is a type of partition chromatography in which the substances are distributed between two liquids. One is usually water, which is held in the fibers of the paper, called as a stationary phase, and other is a moving liquid or the developing solvent, also called as a moving phase. The basic material of the paper used in a paper chromatography is alpha cellulose, which is present in 98.99%. In addition to the alpha cellulose, minute amount of other substances such as beta cellulose, ammonia, nitrogen-like compounds and minerals, matters, etc. may also present. In general, paper is composed of randomly directed cellulose fiber. The cellulose is itself a network of long chain of carbohydrate possessing hydrophilic characters and cross-linked by stable hydrogen bonded system. Water or the other polar solvent is slightly held within the hydrophilic cellulose system. The component of the mixture to be separated migrate at different rates and appear as a spot at different parts of the paper according to their partition coefficient. In this technique, test solution is applied as a small spot on a paper and kept in a closed chamber in such a way that the edge of the filter paper is deep into a developing solvent. The movement of a solvent takes place by the capillarity action. Various substances are moved by developing solvent at various speed due to its different partition coefficient or distribution coefficient in two different phases. Those components having the higher affinity towards the stationary phase will travel slowly, and those components having the higher affinity towards the mobile phase will travel very fast. So when the solvent has moved these samples to a suitable height, stop the development and dry the paper. Spots are visualized by suitable reactions like ninhydrin solution. The movement of substances relative to the solvent is expressed in terms of RF value. Now, capillarity action. Capillarity action is also called as a capillarity, which describes the ability of a liquid to flow against the gravity in a narrow space, such as a thin tube. This spontaneous rising of a liquid is the outcome of the two opposing forces. One is a cohesive and second is a adhesive. Cohesive is the attractive force between similar molecules or the atoms, for example water and water, whereas the adhesive force is the attractive force between dissimilar molecules or atoms. So with the help of this diagram, we have to see about when the capillarity is said to be high. When the adhesion force is greater than that of the cohesion, then capillarity is said to be high, and vice versa. So in the first beaker there is a presence of the water, and in the second beaker there is a presence of the mercury. And in both beaker containing water and the mercury, in that diff the capillary tube. When you see the curves, here is a concave type, and in the second there is a convex type. So in the first, that is water containing beaker, in the capillary tube, you can see here the concave type of the curve because the adhesion force is greater than that of the cohesion. Whereas in the second one, that is mercury containing beaker, when you see the curve, type of the curve, here is a convex because here is the cohesive force is greater than the adhesive. When the adhesions are greater than those of the cohesion, the molecule of the liquid cling to the wall of the tube. We will observe that the upper surface of the liquid becomes the concave. That is, the height of the liquid at the contacted area is higher than its center of the tube, and vice versa for mercury containing beaker. Now we have to see the procedure. The first step is the selection of the solvent. There is a criteria for the selection of the solvent system. First one, the RF value of the sample should lie between 0.05 and 0.85 in the system. Second one, the difference between the RF value of any two components must be 0.05. Third, the distribution ratio of the component in the solvent system should be independent of the concentration so as to get circular spot. Number 4, the solvent should not undergo the chemical reactions with any of the component of the sample mixture. Number 5, the solvent should not interfere with the detection of the spot on the developed chromatogram. Number 6, the composition of the solvent system should not alter with the time. And the last one, it is also dependent on to the nature of the substances. So after considering all these criteria, select the solvent, then select the development chamber and add into the development chamber. The equilibration of the chamber or the chamber saturation is a vital factor to obtain a reproducible RF value. It may be achieved by allowing the solvent system to remain in the chamber for at least 1 to the 2 hours, so that the vapor of the solvents will pre-saturate the latter adequately. This is done to obtain distinct separation of constituent, uniform solvent formed, and prevent the evaporation of the solvent. Cover each and keep aside for the 1 to the 2 hour. Now select a Whatman filter paper, cut into 10 into 20 centimeter sheet. There are also various criteria for the selections of the paper, such as whether the paper is being used for the quantitative or the qualitative analysis, whether it is used for the analytical or the preparative chromatography, whether the substances used are hydrophilic or the lipophilic, neutral or charged species, their thickness, flow rate, purity, net strain, and the type of the separation. So all these criteria are there for the selections of the filter paper. Now after the selections of the filter paper, the next step is draw the origin line from the bottom and left hand side by using pencil. Then prepare sample solutions of the amino acid by adding suitable amount of the two different amino acid in the suitable volume of the appropriate solvent. After that, apply the small drop of an amino acid mixture on the cross sections of the two lines with the help of the capillary tube and dry it carefully over between each drop application. Then place the paper in a fully saturated development chamber in such a way that the spot should lie at the bottom but strictly above the level of developing solvent. To maintain this condition, paper sheet was provided with hanging support of a thread tie at the top of the chamber. Then again cover it and allow to run the solvent through the paper up to the desired height, that is 70 to the 80%. Then when the solvent run up to the 70 to the 80% of the paper, remove from the chamber, mark the solvent front position immediately with a pencil and dry it. Now rotate the paper at 90 degree to the first direction. And again keep into the development chamber containing the same or the different solvent and allow to run solvent for specific time to obtain desired height of solvent front. Then remove the paper from the chamber, mark the solvent front position immediately with a pencil and dry it. After drying, if the spot is a colorless, then visualize the spot by using methods. There are the two methods, physical and the chemical method. Here, neem hydrogen solution is used for the identification of the or the visualization of the spot. Now spray the neem hydrogen solution and dry it. Spot will be appear on the paper. Now the next step is evaluation of the chromatogram. There are two methods for the evaluation of the chromatogram. One is a qualitative, where the determination of the RF value and compare with the standard one. And in the second one, that is quantitative analysis. There are again the two methods, direct method and the indirect method. In a direct method, the quantitative determination is undertaken directly on the layer or on the paper. And in indirect method, isolate the separated spot from the paper and perform the extraction procedure. So here, after getting the spot, calculate the RF value and identify by comparing with the standard. Now we are also going to see the quantitative determination or the evaluations of the chromatogram. So for that, the simplest procedure is to cut out the appropriate part of the filter paper having the spot, but before that mark the every spot with a pencil and then cut out and to soak it in a minimum quantity of the solvent. Generally a semi-micro extractor similar to the soak slate is being used. Now stir the solution properly after transferring the cut out the portion into the beaker. Then filter the solution and analyze the filtrate solution by using the different techniques such as UV spectrophotometry, colorimetry, polarography, flame photometry, etc. So this is the observation table. You have to write down here the mobile phase and determine or measure the parameter, that is distance traveled by the spot A and distance traveled by the spot B horizontally and vertically. And then calculate the RF value of a spot A horizontally, vertically, similarly for the spot B horizontally and the vertically. There is a formula for the determination of the RF value, that is distance traveled by the solute from the origin line divided by distance traveled by the solvent from the origin line. So these are the references. Thank you all of you.